Welcome back to The Explainer. I am so pumped you're here today because we're tackling something that literally anyone who creates, sells, or markets absolutely has to get a grip on. Did you know that businesses are leaving billions, and I mean billions with a B, of dollars on the table every single year just by letting interested folks walk away? Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we are popping the hood on the mechanics of bringing those exact people back. We're going to break down this short but incredibly powerful strategy from our source text, The Art of Converting Abandoned Interest. So think about it for a second. What actually happens to a lost lead? Someone lands on your digital storefront, right? They're poking around, they're looking at stuff, they seem totally invested. And then bam, poof, gone without a trace. It is just incredibly frustrating, isn't it? I mean, that is a potential customer literally turning their back and walking out the door. Now, in the crazy, fast-paced world we operate in, it's so tempting to just write them off. You check the analytics, you shrug, and you immediately pivot to the next new person in line. But man, that is a massive missed opportunity. We are leaving serious value behind when we just let them slip into the void without a fight. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it completely reframes the whole situation. See, we aren't talking about a permanent rejection here. The source material defines abandoned interest as the critical moment when a potential buyer engages but leaves without completing the action. I really want you to focus on that specific wording there. It's a moment, right? It's just a phase in their journey. It's definitely not a dead end. I mean, they showed genuine interest. They engage with your stuff. Recognizing that this abandonment is really just a pause in the process, not a full stop, that's the absolute foundational mindset shift we've got to make today. And that brings us straight to the core mandate from the text. Recover lost leads. We have got to stop passively accepting the loss. This is the exact point where we stop being just, helpless bystanders staring at traffic data, and we become active participants in the buyer's journey. It's a deliberate, hands-on process of reclamation. We're going out there and getting them back. So how do we actually pull off that reclamation? Well, the text hands us two highly effective tactical solutions to deploy as critical reminders. First up, abandoned cart emails. These are direct, personalized pings right into their inbox. You're specifically reminding them of the exact item they left behind. Second, retargeting ads. You totally know the feeling. You check out a pair of sneakers once, and suddenly they're just gently following you around the internet for a week. That's you keeping your product top of mind for them. Both of these tactics are deliberate, engineered mechanisms that you build to interrupt their departure and smoothly guide them back into your ecosystem. Let's walk through the chronological flow of how this actually plays out in the real world. Step 1. The user abandons interest. They click away. The action grinds to a halt. But step 2 is where you step in and take control. You deploy those targeted emails or retargeting ads we were just talking about. This is you actively building a bridge right back to your site. And then, step 3, the reminder triggers a return. That email or that ad catches their eye at a way better time. It jogs their memory, and it provides this totally frictionless path back to exactly where they left off. You are essentially handing them the stepping stones to finish what they started. Let's move to and see how this builds when we look at the stark contrast in outcomes. When interest is abandoned and you do absolutely nothing, that lead just turns to dust. Zero conversion. But when a targeted reminder is deployed, you're lighting up a clear pathway right back to the cart. It beautifully illustrates that the ultimate fate of a lead usually has way less to do with the buyer getting distracted and literally everything to do with whether or not you actually chose to remind them. An ignored lead stays lost for good, but a reminded lead, they've got a clear, illuminated path right back to you. Okay, I want to slow down for a second and really absorb this quote from our source material. These reminders often convert hesitant buyers who were close to purchase. So the crucial point is that exact phrase, close to purchase. Think about it. These aren't cold audiences. These aren't random people who accidentally stumbled onto your site. They had a real intent. They were literally inches away from crossing the finish line. The psychological weight of this realization is just massive. Your reminder isn't some annoying cold pitch out of nowhere. It's actually a helpful nudge to someone who was, for all intents and purposes, already holding their wallet open. And this brings us right to the climax of our whole explainer today, framing the exact definition of a hesitant buyer. This is a user who is already on the verge of purchasing, needing only a final nudge. Listen, a hesitation is not a definitive no. Maybe the doorbell rang, maybe their boss walked in, or maybe they just wanted to double-check their bank account first. Whatever the distraction was, it doesn't matter, because they remain a highly qualified prospect. By treating them as a hesitant buyer instead of just writing them off as a lost cause, you unlock this incredibly high converting segment of your audience. They just need that one final gentle push to get them over the line. Which leaves us with the ultimate question, and it's one I really want you to chew on for a bit. How many hesitant buyers are out there right now just waiting for your reminder? I mean, how much abandoned interest is sitting hidden in your data, simply waiting for that one email or that one ad to trigger their return? I challenge you to go look at your own lost leads through this exact tactical lens. Instead of treating every single exit as a final goodbye, start building the bridges that invite them back. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time.